Welcome back to Griffin Indiana 22 on Farming Simulator 22 for episode 17. With me, MrSealyp. I have completed the first few contracts in spring. And we got an extra one popped up for Field 15, which you should have seen if I took a thumbnail. So, next on the list for today, I'm thinking sheep. It's about time. I'm wondering whether or not tractor or Jeep. We'll go tractor. I'm going to lease the nice VA trailer by Vertex Design. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to grab those mowers. I'm still keeping an eye out for a front mower. To get a front one, and it doesn't even matter if it's not the same brand. Doesn't matter. I'll have a triple set then, and I'll be happy. Just wondering if I'm going to wait for this actually. Okay, it's not too bad. Actually, what we'll do while we're here, we'll sort out getting the trailer. They can prep that while we take the mowers back. Actually, you know what I will do? I know it was only a little while ago I checked, but it doesn't hurt to have another check. You never know what might pop up. So, under animal transport, we should have available one of these. I don't need. I'm moving the. I'm right next door to the livestock market. In all honesty, where I've set up shop, so to speak, is perfect. I'm right by the store. I'm right by the livestock market. I'm right by the sawmill. It's pretty handy in all honesty. That one will do 9 pieces. That one will do 12. How much is that to lease? 861. Well, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Let's lease that. We'll come back for that in a minute. They'll do their checks, make sure everything's okay before we take it away. It's looking a bit grim. I was hoping that... Oh, no, maybe the sun will come out. It's looking a little bit better. Yeah, so we'll grab the sheep, we'll get those in. We'll get the grass down, we'll get those in. I was looking at a couple of options. I know I've been talking about them quite a lot. I was thinking about, once I've got the sheep in on this plot of land here to my right, putting in the sheep cheese factory. 60 grand, I can afford it, but I'm also thinking I don't need to yet. When I first get the sheep and I first feed them, it's going to take a while before we build up a head of steam, before we've got enough sheep's milk on hand to do anything with. So it seems a bit churlish to do that now. I don't think that would be good. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put them up here where I had the trailer parts originally, because I can now park the trailer inside. I think they might be a little bit tall to get under there, and the other small shed, so for the time being I'll just stick them over there. Yeah, so the other thing I was thinking was about, I keep talking about the refinery. Now that does take things like potatoes and wood chips and that kind of thing. I also thought about maybe, I said I was going to look at properties and stuff available. So sort of these are the options I'm thinking of. As it stands at the moment, we've got our plot here with our sheep on. So I'm either thinking sheep cheese factory there, but I'm not going to have any milk to put in there yet, so I don't know, I might hold off. On our plot here, just by the trees here, the refinery, because it will fit into that gap, and then we can make various different products which we can sell, keep, use, whatever we want to do. The other option is going up north and picking one of these fields up. That one's only 74 grand. That one there is 129, which isn't too bad. Got a bit of forestry and we've got a bit of grass on that. That one's got more grass than that one has, which gives us the option for doing some cutting. Although I have got the option to cut grass on here, so I could turn that into a field. But then looking at the size of it, how much am I going to make realistically? The problem is to be able to afford to buy some of these ones. 164, I suppose I could. About field 4, 187. I don't know whether I need to make a bit more money and then do it. So I looked at some of these plots here, and yeah, these plots are fairly cheap. That one's pretty much all grass. But again, with that, it's tiny. I could put a bit on there. I mean, at the end of the day, it depends. Am I growing crops for me? Am I growing crops to sell? Have I got other means of making money at the moment? I have. Do I look at doing a bit of forestry again because the wood chips with the wood pallets are going well? That's earning me good money. And do I just do the farming, like my own fields, for my own benefit? So I grow the crops for me whilst continuing to do contracting. I mean, at the end of the day, there are plenty of farmers who set themselves up and they're just contracting companies and they work for farms all over the place, and that's what they do year in, year out. A lot of them do have their own farming setups as well, but I just think on hard mode, I'm just going to take me a long time to build up to be able to get a big enough field to do a big enough harvest to reap the reward of that. So am I better off looking at other alternatives for making money? That's why I was thinking of the sheep and the sheep's milk, sheep cheese. It's that at the end of the day. I know I can make more money. I know I can. As more contracts come up, if I have to bounce through a whole another year doing contract work and doing stuff, and even if I have to buy a plot and do some more wood chipping like I did before and keep the wood pellet situation going, and then next year when I've built up enough money, because the wood pellets, they've earned me good money, I'm doing all right. And then now the contracts are picking up again, I'm doing that as well. So we're in a situation we've got our own farm set up so we can hire workers. It's a thing in my back of my mind of constantly thinking I don't want to do the wrong thing, you know. I don't want to get it wrong. But then that's how you learn, you know. Learning is making mistakes. You're incredibly lucky if you get it right first time. Every time you get it wrong, you've just learned another way not to do it, you know, at the end of the day. As long as you remember those mistakes. I'm laughing because I seem to make the same ones over and over again. I forget a piece of machinery or a piece of equipment or how something works, and I go, and it's always that 50-50, isn't it? There's two ways I can do this, and I always pick the wrong one, always. And then when it goes wrong, I think, oh, I should have done the other one. It's typical, isn't it? So, I'm going to go for 30. That's going to eat into my money a little bit. This needs to be unfolded. Hope I get the thing come up. So, what do we go with though? That's the question. I nearly went for pigs again. Yes, every time I come here. At the end of the day, these are all given stats for wool. I don't know if there's a particular brand or if there's a particular breed of sheep that are going to be better for milk, or whether we're just going to be all right. Oh, that's a tricky one, isn't it? What do we do? I think I'm going to go for landrace. I think I'm going to go for the more expensive ones because I want them to be sort of good to go, so to speak. That's my first 12. Let's get them in. At least I'll know now moving forward there'll be no more sheepless nights. Come on now. That was a good one. It was a good one. Well, I'm pleased with myself anyway. So we want this side, isn't it? Isn't it? I want to say it is. No, that's where the... Hang on a minute. See, I've done it again. That's what I'm talking about. Of course, it's the other end. I'm thinking, what am I thinking of? The ones I used in the Western Wilds, it was around that side, wasn't it? Oh dear. So, do I want to go that open? There's a bit of a gap there, but that's alright. We'll be okay. Is it not going to get me there? There we go. Let's move them. First 12 in. I can't believe we'll get 60 in there. Fair enough. So I'm also thinking, there was me saying about no more sheepless nights, and I thought I was being very amusing. About moving out of the motel. So I could build a property. What have we got available? Let's go to our farmhouses. I mean, we could put down... Oh, they're a bit big. We could tent, which I said I didn't want to do. No point moving out of a motel into a tent. We could put down one of these. We've got the trailer farmhouses. Just think I'd put down one of these here for £5 grand. I've already got the land, take up a little bit of space, and we've got ourselves something to be getting on with. Or I could buy one of these plots and have a proper house with a driveway. And then all I've got to do is bring my bag, or there's a doormat there. I could switch out my bag for a doormat and have the doormat. And then we've got a bit more land as well. I mean, admittedly, yes, it's not going to be, this is not going to be crop land. But I'm just thinking, if we've already got land, that's going to cost me, well, I don't know, what's going to cost me 50, 60 grand, is it? Hang on. Where's that plot? That's... I've lost myself. That one. Yeah, 62 grand. So 62 grand. I do get a little bit of land with it, I guess. That one there's got a caravan on it already. It's a bit of a mess. But I don't think I can tidy it up. That's only 15 grand, which is a lot cheaper. That's 29 grand, but doesn't have, again, doesn't have a house on it. Or do I just go with the trailer? I might just go with the trailer. It's a cheaper option. I was kind of hoping I'll be able to sleep in my own home. But maybe that's, again, that's something to work up to, I guess. Not quite sure where I was going now. Let's, I know I seem very dithery. I don't want to, you know... I've always tried to do this when I do my videos and my Let's Plays and that kind of thing. Is my thought process, what, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I could just come on and be all Mr. Decisive. I'm doing this, I'm placing this, I'm going here, you know, and there is a thought process that goes into it, you know. Sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense, and sometimes I do wonder myself what I'm thinking. But there is a thought process. Despite what many of you may think, there is a thought process. That's 24. 6 more needed, and we are good for our 30. So then when they reproduce, we've got a full pen stable. And it actually hasn't cost us anywhere near as much as I thought it was going to. I've still had the old pricing, like FS19, FS17, you know, and I suppose that's all changed. It's not like that anymore, you know, when you were paying a set sort of 1,500 for a sheep and 2,500 or 3,000, whatever it was for a cow. My mind's gone blank, but you know, it was a set amount, you know. And now with different breeds, different pricing, whether you get mature. I've left those doors open. Lucky I haven't got sheep running amok. Running around. Right, I'll get the last 6 and then we'll sort out their feed. Oh, it's a real dilemma, isn't it? Again, I mean, there's no right or wrong. At the end of the day, if I buy myself a house, I buy myself a house. I've spent 60 grand on a plot of land, which I can't do a huge amount with, to be honest with you. I get myself a trailer and put it here, which moves me out of the motel and onto my own property. And that does free up more money than for doing something else. I'll give it some thought while I'm getting these last ones. They're in. All 30. Well, we bounced from cloud to sun to rain pretty quickly. I need to check the weather forecast. How are we looking? What time's the rain coming? 4 o'clock. The Salvo. Right, okay. Brilliant. Let's take this back. Then we'll grab the trailer. We'll get a load of the grass that we cut. I haven't made the decision. I think I'm going to go with the trailer option. I think. Then we'll go down. We'll grab the bag. Bring our bag up. I have had word that Frey Farms are going to be coming and they're going to be inspecting our produce, which is quite exciting, and potentially striking up a deal, but that's not going to be till March 2, possibly March 3, but I think March 2. So that's good. Oh, someone was asking me the other day about Farm Dog, because he was barking in the background, about what kind of dog he is. He's a cockapoo. He's a straight-haired cockapoo. Yeah, he's black and white with a black patch over one eye and one ear. So yeah, he's not the tight, curly sort of ones you see. He's straight-haired, and yeah, his name's Darwin. I know I call him Farm Dog all the time. MrSealyp's away at the moment. She's gone to visit her aunt up in the Lake District. For a few days. She's due back today, and he's been good as gold until today, and he's been very mopey today. He's yeah, pacing around a lot, which he doesn't normally do. So he's just had enough of me. He's fed up. It's weird because I was just thinking, someone asked me, and my mind suddenly thought, hang on a minute, I haven't heard him for a little while, which is often worrying. I'd prefer it if he was making a noise. At least if he's barking at the window, I know where he is. When he's quiet, what's he ripped up this time? He's one of those dogs. Doesn't matter what toy you get him. We've got a few toys we bought him. These kind of tough toys, indestructibles. I mean, I say companies that use the word indestructible. Okay, be careful about what you say. Most of the indestructible toys we bought him demolished. But things like rubber, he's got this big thick rubber tyre and the rope knots and things like that, good as gold, no problem at all. Anything with stuffing in it or a squeaker. My kids and MrSealyp went through a phase of buying these little squeaky pigs. And every time he got one, I said to her, I give it half an hour. Half an hour, he will have that ripped open, he will have all of the stuffing out of it, and he'll have the squeaker out of it. And without any shadow of doubt. And what always amazes me, I suppose the same with stuffed toys, like kids' stuffed toys, how much stuffing they manage to fit into these dogs' toys. It's normally everywhere. And that's normally what he's doing. When he's quiet, he's up to something. So, where's our grass? 49,000 litres, which they're not going to take 49,000 litres. But I'd rather put too much into the trailer than not enough. So even if I put the full 49 in, I can always bring it back and put it into here. We have got some hay bales over there, which we can use as well. Actually, do these only take... That's a good point. Do these only take... We've got grass and... It just says grass. So a lot of them say grass and hay is an option there. I could try... What I might do is put this in. I'm going to grab a hay bale and I'll stick a hay bale in the feed trigger and leave it there, and we'll see if it goes down. I know it does specifically say grass, but who knows? Maybe we'll get away with it. Maybe on the round ones or something. Get these fed, and then, unless I get any contracts pop up, this is going to be quite a short episode because that's all I wanted. I was going to sort the sheep out and sort out a plot of land. Oh yeah, we need to put our home down. Go and get our bag, don't we? Move that over, and then I'm quite tempted with a plot of land up to the north with a bit of woodland on it that I can call my own, that I can chop down and wood chip. But there we go. say. Problem with trailers like this. Right, going to keep pushing backwards. They're taking... Oh, okay. Not too much more. Cool. I suppose I should have come at this side on, but never mind. We're there. We're full. 20,000 litres. Cool. So they're good to go. I'll get no wool from them, just milk. But that's fine. I've done wool and other ones. I could stick a different pen in and we could do sheep for wool as well if we wanted to. But for the time being, that's what the plan was. I'm thinking... What do you reckon? Here? There we go. We got it. Interesting. I've purchased one of those. I put it this way, right down by the gate, because I needed room to be able to manoeuvre vehicles around here when I'm sorting out my fertiliser and stuff in my shed. My shed's chemistry, so I need to give myself enough room for turning things around here. I was going to put it right up in this corner, but I thought actually that cuts off quite a bit of room here. So, actually that's nice. It's more of a cabin, I think, than a... It's not a mobile home, it's a cabin. We have our own home. How exciting. Well, I think it is, isn't it? But, you know, that's just me. So, what are we going to do? Do I go and grab a hay bale? I might grab a hay bale. Should we give it a go? Oh, it's cool. Well, look, we're picking up pace now. And only £5 on the land I've already got, using up a little bit of space that, you know, it's not using up too much space at all. I don't need a mansion, it's just me. Oh, that was the thing I was going to mention as well. I tweeted. Did I put it on Facebook as well? I can't remember now. I think I might have just tweeted. I might put it on Facebook. I put about knolling. Somebody asked me what's knolling. It's something, I think it's quite specific to Lego, but you can do it with other things as well. It's called brick knolling, and when you're building Lego sets, I personally I think it just works anyway. If you're a bit OCD, or if you want to make life a little bit easier for yourself, some people, and my wife does it when she builds Lego sets, she'll just pile Lego into a heap, open the bags up, and then when she's looking through the instructions, she'll spend ages sifting through the piles trying to find a particular piece. Knolling is the process of organising all those pieces into like-minded bits. So either bricks that are all exactly the same, or people do it by colour sections, so put all one colour in one area, and it's a way of organising all your bricks. So then when you come to build the set, because you've knolled it, because you've put it in certain places, your mind, I don't know how it works, it's very clever, remembers where you've put it. So you can pretty much go straight to what you need rather than having to sift through loads and loads. Now, admittedly, it takes time to do the knolling in the first place, but it works. It's a good system. But here's the interesting thing. SealyG, as I've said before, works for Lego. They closed her Lego store in the town where we live. Only the second store in the history of Lego they've closed. That would be hers, wouldn't it? So she's now moved to Leicester Square. She lives with us, but she works in Leicester Square. It's one of the biggest stores in the world. I think there's Dubai, Leicester Square. Anyway, so she goes into Leicester Square for work. But when she was at the Watford branch, and they would get kits sent when the new model was coming out, and they would have to build the sets. And sometimes she got to bring sets home, which was awesome. I got to build some sets. She built some sets that were for the display to go in the window of the store and that kind of thing. Very, very cool, very exciting. If you're into that kind of thing. If you're not, it's not at all. And when I had to build them at the store, she would sit out the back and they would build sets, and she would knoll the bricks. And people that worked for Lego, managers, people, would ask what she was doing. And you think, wow, okay, it's interesting that I suppose at the end of the day, you might work somewhere. It's just a job. You don't, you're not really that bothered. How much of a nerd you are. But yeah, so that's what the picture was. I was nolling, and I'm building the D-level, the cat dozer model. The day that her store closed, the final day, I went in and picked up a couple of sets and stuff, and I've been putting off buying the dozer for, well, since it came out. I ummed and ahed, I thought, oh, I don't know, and I went in on the day, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it. So I bought the dozer, and I decided yesterday, even though I still posted a video, same as Saturday, I thought I'm going to take Saturday and Sunday off. I'm going to have the weekend to myself and still post the construction simulator videos, but and I thought I'm going to build some Lego. Blimey, it's one of the most complicated Technic sets I've built, I know that much. V12 engine, building the engine block, that was cool. Anyway, yes, I'm geeking out a little bit, but anyway, yeah, that's what the picture was, that's what nolling is. And the reason I added tested, Adam Savage's tested, was because Adam Savage was one of the first bits. I mean, it's something I'd always done with Lego. I'd always done it, and I didn't even know it had a name, and I didn't know that other people did it. And I remember watching some Adam Savage on the tested channel, and they were making a set. I can't remember what set they were making. Oh, it was when the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon came out, and there was 5 or 6 of them building the set. And he was bricknolling, and he was talking about it. And I think he's got a T-shirt with it on. I don't know if they do it on the tested website. And that was when I first thought, oh, it's got a name. I had no idea. I had a thing. Anyway, sorry, I'm still doing it. Right, bag. And so what do I do now? That's them sorted. I don't think that hay bale is going to go down because it does just say grass. Whoa, that's weird. What's happened here? They were fine when I left them. Oh, is it because they're close to these? Are we getting a bit of jostling going on? Jostling brown. Oh, I thought I had... Have I lost one? Oh no, maybe I didn't have a full stack. That's going to go over at some point, isn't it? Yeah, if I buy a plot of land that's got some grass on it, I suppose I could bale. The problem is getting that baler wrapper. I'm trying to think again. See, so I'm talking about misremembering things. It's all well and good if I can remember. The baler wrappers, you can't turn off the wrapping portion, can you? Or can you? So if you're doing grass, generally speaking, it automatically wraps the grass into silage bales. But if you just want grass bales, that's not going to work. I was really hoping. Yeah, packs grass bales in foil so they can ferment. If you do straw or hay, I can't remember if you can turn. I don't think you can. Oh yeah, the thing I was going to check as well was just to keep an eye on the contracts in case anything else pops up. I can dig my teeth into. Right, stop that there. So, check for train. No. So this was the other plot. I could have bought this for 15 grand, but I don't think you can tidy it up. I don't know, maybe once you bought it, maybe you can clear some of this stuff. But the one I've got comes with a trigger, so I guess my bag, I can just bring my HOLDor up and sort it. Look at all this weeds. Why am I not getting herbicide contracts? I'm going to go and grab the Jeep, and we're going to whiz up and check out the plots, those 2 fields that have got a bit of woodland and a bit of grass on. I'm just curious. And we're looking on our pellet to pallets. Oh, we've got a couple. Cool. Stick those on. Get them on. There we go. Oh, that one there. Turn them off. Oh, I watched a brilliant... sorry, I'm in a very chatty mood today. I don't know why I'm in a very chatty mood. I just watched a brilliant film on Apple TV the other night with Zac Efron. Now, I'm not a big Zac Efron fan. I'm not, you know... Remember my kids watching him in High School Musical. First time I ever heard about him when they were little. And he's done some good stuff. I've seen a few things with him that have been quite good. This is called The Great Beer. What was it called? Something about beer. Anyway, I only watched it the other night. You think I'd remember? The best beer run ever. Something like that. Anyway, it's based on a true story. And if you haven't seen it, if you've got Apple TV, if you haven't, obviously, it's just one of those things. I think my wife gets it with some subscription of something or other. And it's about during the Vietnam War. I don't want to spoil all of it, but basically, this guy takes a big bag of beers and he's going to take them out to Vietnam to take to all the guys that live in his neighbourhood that are serving and take them a beer. And you watch it and think, wow, that's nuts and cool and funny. And it's a true story. The guy really existed, Chicky Donahue. And I've ordered his book. He wrote a book about what happened, and then if you get to watch it, it's an amazing film, an amazing story, very uplifting. I found. Quite emotional in places I found, but very uplifting and just a very cool idea. And when you then find out that it's real, and you know, there was a sort of documentary with it with Zac Efron, Chicky Donahue, and the producer of the film talking about it, and pretty much everything that happened to the film is how it happened. The time frame is adjusted slightly, but other than that, and that makes it even more kind of wow, that's amazing. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. So let's head up here. Now we did a couple of contracts up here for did we do hay up here? I know we did silage bales up here. So we're looking at plot just to the right here, so just below field 34. So this bit here with a little bit of woodland, we go to the map, we want, where are we? Oh blimey, we're all up there. So that plot, and the woodland goes a fair way actually. Where are we at the moment? So yeah, it takes in quite a bit of this woodland. I mean, so I was just thinking if you wood chipped a lot of these, because they're not going to be great for cutting down and like log, but there's a fair bit of grass here. I suppose the problem is I'm looking at the map as well, thinking of field sizes based upon the rest of the fields on the map. It's not a bad size plot, is it? Could take that out as well, wood chip that, and then we could plough it out and have our own field here. Just thinking if I took some of the trees out for wood chips and made this a squarer plot. So if you look at the map down the bottom left, actually if we go into the map again. So bring it sort of straight down and straight across, take out that section of woodland just there. I mean, it goes way over. I suppose we could take out a load of it and just, that'd be quite a project. And that one's 74 grand, which we can afford. That one's 129, bit more expensive. And that one's diagonally over Diagon Alley. So this has got a lot more grass on this, but obviously it's a more expensive plot. So all of that, much bigger field area with a bit of woodland at the back. It's at the back, at the side here, because it goes right the way out here, doesn't it? So we could still get some wood chip out of this. I could clear that back. Again, how far does that go? It goes out past the woodland bit and just out the other side as well. So all of this could all be cleared, and we could. Oh, mind you, is that a creek or a track? Looks like a watercourse, doesn't it? That'd be interesting. Bringing the field down to the watercourse. I know when I watch Cold the Corn Star, near the farmers, I watch when they have these. And look, leave a grass bit either side of it, so we can kind of plough either side maybe. Bring it up and have it coming out to the side here. So fields here, and then the water course, so then the water can drain and run off. That's definitely wet, isn't it? Yeah, it's not a path. You know what? I think we might just do it, you know. I keep pressing that one. It's a big chunk of change, but we're getting some land. Yeah, let's do it. We got our own bit of land. So, clearing first, then ploughing? Or do I plough it out, prep it, put something in it that can be growing, and then clear that for next season? That way I can get something in the ground. Could do, couldn't I? Well, there we go. Another episode where we've been quite busy. Sheep are in, 30, done. We've got our own property now. I'll go and grab my holdall. I suppose I can empty my holdall out now. I don't have to live out of a bag anymore. We are going to need a plough though. We've got a cultivator. We don't own a plough. What I need to find is something fairly cheap. I suppose I could lease one. I don't have to buy one, do I? But I want to go, so if we go up to 6 metres, they get a bit hefty on the old horsepower requirement, don't they? Anything smaller, it's going to take ages, but I suppose part and parcel, wouldn't it? We couldn't be further away from where everything else is. But, hey, that's where the land's cheap. What we'll also do, before we go any further, let's have a look at our calendar. So we can put in the ground now oat, sunflower, potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane. We could do grapes and olives. Do we do oats? Sunflower pays quite well normally, doesn't it? Let's check the pricing. Oats in the 9s. Sunflower, yeah, I'm better off doing sunflower, aren't I? You know, I'm not going to get as much. It's that same thing as it always is, isn't it? I won't get as much. I keep forgetting I've got all this stuff here as well, haven't I? So that for refinery, I can do potatoes and sugar beet through it and wood chips, but the sugar beet has to be cut. So I could cut all of that into sugar beet cut and run that through. But that again, that's going to be bad. So I'm off to the motel to pay my tab, pay up for any. I don't know if I'm supposed to be paying for a week, the rest of the day. I did pay in advance originally, but that was a little while ago. So yeah, I'll pay my tab, grab my bag, and that'll be it for this episode. Next episode, if we don't get any contracts pop up, we've got potentially Frey Farms coming. Oh, actually, that'll give us some more money. If they do decide they're going to, I've got all that, I keep forgetting all that watermelon sat there as well. There'll be some more for tomorrow. So we'll make a bit of money back on that. And yeah, so I plough, we'll start ploughing it out, prepping that field. I've got fertiliser so we can fertilise it. It's going to need liming though, that's a point. I'm sure we can sort that out. I think I've got to remember how to do. Is it open cover? There we go. This doesn't have a strap in the back though, does it? Now we're out of the snowy wintry period. Can I put that in the back of there? Can. Cool. Doesn't sit in there perfectly, but it will do. And I'll see you on the next one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're still enjoying it. If you are, if you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.